What is going on? We are doing a MLB tier list. This is going to be kind of where I think these teams are going to rank at the end of the year, where they're going to make it. They're going to be a playoff, World Series contender, championship favorite, which will be just whoever I think is the best team who's going to win the championship this year. Mid, if this is team misses the playoffs, it's just kind of bad. Is just obviously, and trash is the worst teams in baseball. So let's get right into it. I think the Angels, they'll be mid, like always. Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, not good enough to win them anything apparently. They can't build around those two guys. So they are the definition of mid. I think the Houston Astros are a World Series contender. They are the defending champions. I wanted to put them as favorites, but I just couldn't quite do it right now. They lost Verlander, but they are still a fantastic team. I want to debate on the favorites as I get closer to the end. Oakland A's are going to be straight trash. They are going to be one of the worst teams in baseball, without a doubt. Just not going to be good. They're just going to be bad. Toronto, I think they're a playoff team. They could possibly start pushing that World Series contender. I want to have only the top two teams in each conference to push the World Series contender, so I'm not going to quite put them there. Atlanta Braves, I believe they're also a playoff team. I couldn't view the roster because they didn't have it on their website yet, but I still think the Braves are going to be really good. I don't think they're taking a step backwards anytime soon. Definitely not a big enough one to fall out of this playoffs. Although I will say the NL looks pretty stacked for the bottom tiers of the wild cards. The Braves could find their way there, especially with how tough their division is. I think Milwaukee's going to be mid. Their pitching rotation is still insane with Corbin Burns and Woodruff, but their hitting there's a lot left to be desired. That's wise. I just couldn't slide them up any higher than putting them in mid. The Cardinals, Cardinals are going to be missing the playoffs as well. This was a really hard one. I have a team I think is going to win the Central. I hope wins the Central, kind of more or less. But Cardinals, they are right there. There's one more wild card spot or something. The Cardinals make the playoffs without a doubt. But I have one more team. Speaking of which, I think the Cubs are winning that division this year. They have gone out and they have put a team together. Got Dansby Swanson and a bunch of other guys. Trey Mancini's there, my boy Trey. This team has been built up. I think the Cubs are set to make another playoff push this year. They're back, guys. I think the Cubs are back this year. Diamondbacks, I think they're going to be pretty mid. They're probably going to sit around third or fourth in that division all season long. It's really hard competing with some of the other teams within that division for the D-bags. I just don't think they're going any higher up. The Dodgers, definitely playoff team. I don't think they're a World Series contender, to be honest. The roster has taken a slide back, so I can't put them any higher. But putting them in playoffs, I think that's a fair assessment, fair location for them. I think the Giants are going to be bad this year. I think they're going to fall off. I think that, looking at their roster, it was just gross. It's just nothing to it excites me. I don't really want to go out there and watch Brandon Crawford play baseball anymore. Honestly, they're just, I don't think they're going to be good. And I think that Cleveland's going to be pretty mid again. I think last year was a miracle run. I don't think they should have made the playoffs. I don't think they are quite to that level. But you never know. I mean, the Central is a pretty weak division. And if every team falls apart like they did last year, I honestly could see them making a push for it. I think Seattle is a World Series. No, I don't. Hold up. Let me rethink. They're a playoff team. I think they're a playoff team. They're definitely going to be a wildcard team, or they could even shock the world and beat the Astros for that division. I am pretty big on Seattle. I think they can make a run at the World Series personally, but I don't think so just yet. I don't think the Marlins are going to be anything better than bad still. I don't know if those guys are ever going to get out of the basement. They're just bad. With all the young talent with like Sandy Alcantara and Jazz Chisholm, like you would hope they can get at least to mid at some point. I just don't think they are. The Mets are a World Series contender. They are built. Who replaces Jacob deGrom with Justin Verlander? You know what? That might be better than having Jacob deGrom because deGrom might be crazy, but he can't stay healthy. Verlander is going to make a huge difference for this Mets. It kind of sucks for Diaz since he got hurt during the World Baseball Classic, but the Mets are still got to be a World Series favorite coming into the season. The Nationals, they're going to be straight trash. Not much to look forward to. They are still hardcore rebuilding. I don't think they're getting out of the basement just yet. But the Orioles is a team that's managed to get out of the basement, and as an Orioles fan, I am all in. They are making the playoffs this year. They are finishing second or third in this division, and they are going to the playoffs. Mark my words. I am all in on them. I'm bought in. They're going. Obviously, I think you can't make an argument that the Padres are not the World Series or the championship favorites coming into this season. Like, this team was already crazy. Then you add Xander Bogaerts. Like, oh my gosh, this team, where are they still finding money? Like, man, how rich is their owner? This guy must be loaded, because you add Xander Bogaerts to this absolutely stacked roster. Is just absolutely unfair. The Phillies, I think they're also a playoff team. I don't think they're going to be quite World Series this year. Looking at the roster, honestly, I could see missing. I could see the Cardinals making over the Phillies. Honestly, I mean, their roster, I don't know how they managed to get there last year, but I just know. I think the Pirates are going to be bad again. Maybe not like trash, but definitely not good. They are very much just kind of bad. They're not even at the level of being, at least they're mid, or fun to watch. I mean, Key Brian Hayes and O'Neal Cruz is going to make this team probably a little bit watchable, and I hope they move Brian Roberts at the deadline, because I feel like they almost have to. Anyway. I just don't think they will, but I don't think they can hold on to him. I think the Rangers would be mid. I mean, like, looking at their starting rotation looks really good, but, like, I mean, their hitting is still a little bit left to desire, and the AL has some really good young teams coming up. And will DeGrom stay healthy long enough to take this Texans team or Rangers team to the championship? Or playoffs. I mean, just playoffs in general. I don't believe so. I don't think so. I also think the Rays are going to be very mid this year. I'm not bought in on them. Look at the roster; it just doesn't look like it's getting better. I know that it's the Rays. They never look like they're that great of a team coming into a year, but they're always there. I think they'll be mid. I think their division's just too hard, and they almost fell off last year. I think the Orioles will get a better start this year, and the Rays just can't afford to not be as good as they've been in years past. I don't think they're going to do it, though. I think the Red Sox are going to be bad. I'm not into the Red Sox right now. Honestly, they are. I mean, losing Xander Bogaerts sucks. I mean, they kept Rafael Devers, but that's only a piece. I just don't think the Red Sox have enough to continue making a push, especially in a division when you have two teams here, and the Yankees will end up being in a playoff spot here at some point. I just don't think you can realistically make an argument that the Red Sox are going to be in, like, that position. I just don't see it. The Reds, they're going to be trash. They're going to be, like, the worst team in baseball. It's just pretty easy to say. They're just bad. It's like a AAA team playing baseball. The Rockies, I think they'll be mid, like they've been for years now. They just, no pitching, hitting's okay at best. They're going to be mid. The Royals, they're bad. Let's go ahead and put Detroit where they want to be too. They're both just bad. I don't see any, like, into what they are. Like, they're bad. At least in the Orioles, they brought up Adley. They instantly looked better. But with the Royals and with Detroit, they bring up guys and they look bad. I mean, they brought up Bobby Witt, looked decent with the Royals. I mean, I don't remember what his stats. Let's go ahead and look him up real quick. What he did last year, because I'm pretty sure he did play, at least in a point. Let's go ahead and see. So yeah, actually it's a pretty solid season. But I mean, an OPS plus of 102 just isn't great. And who's the guy with with Detroit? Oh, what's his name? He's their first baseman. I can't even think of his name right now. Hold on. But honestly, he came up and he looked bad. He was supposed to be a top prospect. That's never a good sign if you bring a dude up and they just instantly look bad. Spencer Torkelson. Here we go. I mean, last season, what he did, 203 batting average with only 8 home runs. And I don't know if this will have any, like, that is bad. This is just all bad. I mean, this is gross to look at. And that guy was supposed to be one of the better players in baseball. I'm not bought into Detroit now. I think the Twins will be very mid as well. I don't think they got much more upside to where they are. I think they're just kind of mid as can be. White Sox, I think, have to be the favorites to win that division. Honestly, their team's pretty stacked. I think it's a pretty great team. I think they have to be the favorites, but you never know. Stuff can happen. And the Yankees are our playoff team. They'll probably win the division and get bounced in the first round or second round. Doesn't matter. They're not beating most of the teams in the playoffs. But if you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.